sanctified by the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. Our ancestors didn't come here as free people. Our ancestors didn't come here as free people. Blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. I pray against.
Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers, and Patreon members. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Yeah, so if this is the first time here at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we highly recommend subscribing to stay updated with our latest content. Hit the subscription button above, click the bell icon, and select all to receive notifications whenever we at the Jamaica Young Police channel release a video. Remember that this channel is not an entertainment channel. You know, entertainment channels give you an average between 10 to 15 minutes. This is not an entertainment channel, so you have to go elsewhere if you want entertainment. Remember to give this video a thumbs up because you will find it helpful and informative. Please remember to share the video with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, mama, papa, side chick, or side man, and tell them to tell a friend about the Jamaica Young Police channel. You can join the Patreon squad. By doing so, you will gain access to exclusive content that cannot be played on YouTube due to various restrictions. To unlock this untapped collection of videos, click the link in the description box below. Joining our Patreon community allows you to explore contents that complies with laws, rules, and regulations while avoiding disruption to our channel's functionalities. You'll be able to see videos and you'll see photographs, names of persons who have been killed and are still waiting on justice, like Rifle of the British crew, one of the British of the British crew, and you'll see the people who are involved in the killing of these men and others, including Douglas Chambers, who was killed by PMP criminal organization members, and it came from the top. And to date, the person who have given that order has not been arrested and charged for that murder. So you can go to Patreon and you'll be able to see the face and name of those persons. So thanks for your continued support, and we look forward to providing you with exceptional content. So moving on to today's video.
Hallelujah! I feel sanctified by the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. Our ancestors didn't come here as free people. Our ancestors didn't come here as free people. Blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. I pray against.
Yeah, so you know that video is from, we had received it from a source. Someone had sent it to us from within the Jamaica Young Police channel, one of our subscribers, within the Patreon squad. And we appreciate it to show you that people are paying attention. So we're on to part 3 now. Part 3 now is going to delve right into the art of Mark Golding's family benefited from slavery, and here is the evidence of what they did to black Jamaican men. Yeah, who were slaves then. This is what these people have done to us and to our ancestors. As I said to you before, I am my ancestor and my ancestors are me. I cannot separate myself from them. So you're going to hear how they have the things that they have done to us. So when he has insulted us, because as he had rightfully says, that most Jamaican people do not read. That is what he says. That's why you know that you're not ignorant. That's why we tell you that this man, not only that this man don't respect you people as black people. He knows that your people are ignorant, especially people who cannot think. That's why this man have been saying that his ancestor came to Jamaica on slave ship and they fought blood, sweat, and they gave blood, sweat, and tears for our freedom. I don't know which freedom I'm talking about, because you understand, because it doesn't have any slave. I am not going to stop saying him doesn't have any slave gene in him. I did that. My ancestors never come to the West because we were tourists. They came because they were captured and sold into slavery. You know much millions of my ancestors died for me to have this freedom. I know to see black people siding with the people who enslaved my ancestors, murder, kill them, rape, and all kind of things. I know they siding with them. So I wanted to hear some of the things that Mark Golding ancestors have done to our black people in Jamaica. And you're going to be horrified. This is part 3. Apparently, look, don't due to the length of things, we have to give you in increments. So this is part 3, and you're not gonna stop until this finish. So if you're not interested, that's how it is. It's not an entertainment channel. It's to wake up your consciousness so that you can think as a black person, and then you will realize who's your enemy, why them hide all of this information from you and keep you docile for you to kill your own brothers and sisters. And you feel that, yeah, doing that, you make you a man. It's not. This is how we make you a man. Education. When time white people or black people can't fool you. None of our educators in Jamaica now go tell you this because they don't want to wake up your consciousness. Make you realize that wait, all along, this is the kind of life we are living. Them now go teach you that in high school in Jamaica. Period. Everything with them teach you all of the same people them enslave our ancestors. They are the one in charge of our education. So you have to go higher university, you have to go higher education and level to learn all of these things. And that's how we are do. So we make a like sacrifice them, human sacrifice to you people. This not benefit we, it will benefit future generation. It starts with you rejecting these liars. These people are trying to impose a white man to become prime minister in our country, in which him have no slave genes in him. He's not Jamaican. He's a British citizen. And for the other, don't forget, the ones them way work with him, Don't forget the traitors them. The traitors of Jamaica. The KD Knights and the others. We don't hear none of the old time PMP them. The Ronnie Tweets. The one where him like the liard one where used to work at JBC. You understand, say him in a wheelchair. When him Garnet Roper, yeah man, all like the Satan, him, you none of them come out and say nothing. You don't hear Faye Ellington say nothing. Everybody dumb. So you watch, you listen, you decide. This is part 3. When I stop, I'll give you all of the thing them. That's in time the gays and the other members of this community celebrate their month in the United States of America. They get a month for themselves. Jamaica has been labeled one of the most homophobic places on earth, according to these people, in which Jamaicans, do not kill gays. Every gay that I have known that has been killed by their lovers in Jamaica. I have known 3 men personally whom I have worked with, and I know for men decades, and they were killed by their gay lovers, in which the lovers haven't been arrested and charged, because it seems like in Jamaica they are the only group of people who can kill others, and there's no criminal charges against them unless the perpetrator is of a lower economic background. But these 3 men were 3 police officers, well-educated men, and they were killed by their gay lovers in Jamaica. And nothing happened. I'll do a commentary about them later on. Anyway, so we know that the gays have been labeled in Jamaica as being homophobic. That's a lie. Jamaicans are not homophobic because we work with gay people. We don't attack them or anything like that. People don't even scorn them. So that's just a blatant lie. Just just creating a problem when there's none. You understand? It's just lies and propaganda. You have to understand that the reason why Jamaican people do not subscribe to this kind of behavior, you understand, is just that it was used to terrorize black people during slavery. The whites, the British white men, they used to, they had some serious homosexuals who were a part of the slave trade and a part of the management team on the plantations. And these men, they would rape the strongest and biggest black men on the plantation because they think that they cannot control them and use it and terrorize and belittle them. So this was a behavior that they used to demonize and belittle black people. So it was a form of terrorism. But the world is not telling the North Americans and the Europeans that's the reason why Jamaicans on a whole reject this kind of lifestyle. It's because it was used on them as a means of terrorism. They use it and terrorize our ancestors. So it's genetically embodied in a majority of the black people's genes. So it's passed on to them. You understand? It's just like, any other thing. So that trauma is still there within the genes. So no wonder why you have so many black people that have suffering from PTSD from slavery, because it's a gene that has been passed on to them. It's just like if a woman is pregnant and anything that she has been through during her pregnancy, it's passed on to the unborn child. And that is not me saying, it's science. So I want you to listen to what they're telling you, the reason why Jamaicans do not subscribe to this homosexual lifestyle, and the main reason, because it was used as a terroristic weapon against them. You understand? So telling the black people in Jamaica to kumbaya with gays and stuff like that, that would be like telling the African Americans who the Ku Klux Klans have lynched, killed, terrorized, to tell them that, well, look, you don't want to, you don't like them, well, you're being racist, so you have to just love them now. If you don't, we're going to use economic terrorism against you. So that's another form. So you're going to terrorize the black people twice after their ancestors have been lynched, murdered, and all kind of thing. Now you're telling them you're going to use economic terrorism against them if they do not love the thing that their enemies have used against them. Remember, the black people were even mutilated. They even cut off the black men genitals and put it in jars and preserve it to look at. What kind of human being would do something like that after you killed somebody, or before you cut off this person's penis and then you put it in a jar because you want to see it? That has to be some form of envy and some sickness right there. You understand? And and for the European and North American want to tell black people to live after all those trauma, that is, that goes to show the unconscionable behavior of these people. But anyway, I wanted to check out this video, and this is history. Because a lot of Jamaican people and people all over the world, they do not read, they do not educate themselves about anything. They just go along with what the pundits said to them and what they like. So let's check out this video, okay? One love.
In the 17th century, a rough family of London cloth cutters called Beckford emigrated to the newly conquered colony of Jamaica to seek its fortune. The Beckfords invested in sugar and slaves.
Up, on your feet, on your feet. Up, come on your feet.
And within 4 generations became one of the richest families in England. They were the yuppies of their day, part of an emerging social class which aspired to become the new aristocracy. There was Beckford the planter, who wrote a unique handbook on how to run a sugar estate.
Out of every 4 African slaves, scarcely one produces a really efficient worker.
And Beckford the playboy, who used sugar profits to bring about a revival in Gothic architecture.
Some people drink to forget their unhappiness. I don't drink. I build.
But he'd be best remembered for his part in a notorious sexual scandal. He told his life story to a biographer to try to restore his reputation. While slavery flourished and sugar sales boomed, the Beckford's world was an orgy of greed and extravagance. But the industry that made them was built on human suffering and greed, and would eventually destroy them. This is the story of the rise and fall of Britain's richest slaving dynasty, the House of Beckford. In 1774, an English gentleman, William Beckford of Summerley, arrives in Jamaica with his wife to take over the family business. He's the fourth generation of Beckford planters.
My father owned the 3 plantations on the Cabarita River, and on his death they became mine. At the time they were managed by representatives.
Summerley inherits slaves, property, and 7,000 acres worth £120,000, more than £2 million at today's rates, near Jamaica's southern port of Savannah-la-Mar.
Jamaica is the best country in the world. Fortunes may be made there, without question. They may also be lost. But an adventurer, investor, a speculator of imagination may certainly lift his fortunes in Jamaica.
Summerley is new to the business of slavery, but keen to increase the profitability of his plantations. The largest of these is Roaring River.
Pick up the way. Come on, he's here now.
Oh, journey's end. Now we can get out of this infernal heat.
Good afternoon, Master. Welcome in.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon,
Hello. Handsome addition.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Water for Mrs. Beckford.
Little is known about Summerley's wife, Charlotte, except that she was his first cousin. Unusually for an Englishwoman, she's willing to brave the dangers of the tropics until they can return home with an even bigger fortune. Summerley wastes no time heading out to the cane fields. The British have been in Jamaica since 1655, when they took the island from the Spanish. It's now a colony, providing Britain and her American possessions with sugar. By Summerley's time, there are 700 plantations on the island.
The rain keeps the roots and have a very good crop.
For Summerley, African slave labour is the machinery of his plantation, ideally suited to the task.
The climate in the West Indies is oppressive. The humidity for a European produces indolence and diminishes health, and ultimately the vigour of the mind. The Negro is constructed for exactly that climate. Their skin is thicker and able to withstand the heat.
Like all planters, Summerley sees slaves as mere workhorses rather than people.
The light shining off the naked skin of the Negroes is a magnificent sight. The blades rise and fall like the violins of a well-conducted orchestra.
A uniquely detailed inventory of his father's property shows that Summerlee inherits 910 slaves worth £36,000. The Roaring River plantation alone has 84 men, 92 women, 80 children and 3 runaways. We know their names, their jobs and the amount that they are worth. Each one is given the Beckford name as a sign of ownership, and it's still a common surname in Jamaica today. The use of forced slave labour demands a harsh control system. Summerlee employs a white overseer who manages 4 black drivers, privileged slaves who harass the field hands. Brutality and fear are the instruments of the regime.
Tell the drivers, no more rest days till the harvest is in.
Yes, sir.
While Summerlee is on the ground making money, his cousin, William Beckford of Font Hill, is in England spending it as the new head of the Beckford dynasty.
On the 29th of September 1781, William Beckford of Font Hill finally came of age.
On his 21st birthday, he becomes the owner of 22 Jamaican plantations, bought or ruthlessly acquired by his ancestors.
The property and wealth which he inherited was almost £1 million, with a further £100,000 a year in income.
This enormous fortune leads the poet Byron to describe him as England's wealthiest son. William's coming of age is a moment of great relief for his ambitious mother, Maria. She's fought off rival claims to her only son's fortune since the death of his father when he was 9.
My father increased the family wealth in Jamaica and then came back to London, where he became Lord Mayor of London twice. Actually, he made quite a name for himself. People used to call him the Great Beckford.
Maria appoints a trusted family friend, lawyer Thomas Wildman, to manage William's affairs. Between them, mother and lawyer will attempt the challenging job of guiding and controlling this frivolous young man.
Oh, I was never good for anything in this life, but composing airs, building towers, and forming gardens.
Now wealthy and respectable, the Beckfords brush under the carpet their family's dark history in the Caribbean.
The island of Jamaica was the rendezvous for the most lawless and profligate adventurers who ever roamed the earth.
The Beckford clan arrived in 1660 and set about making money.
The Beckford ancestors were certainly colourful. The great-grandfather, Peter Beckford, was ruthless, unscrupulous, and violent. The Beckford grandfather, another Peter Beckford, a Speaker of the Jamaica Assembly, shamefully murdered in cold blood the Deputy Judge Advocate. Despite his violence, he died in his own bed, reputed to be one of the richest subjects in Europe. When his strongbox was opened, the greater part of £1 million was discovered, hoarded up.
The largest share of the family's huge fortune has come to Beckford of Fonthill. He lavishes his extraordinary wealth on treasures, books, paintings and ceramics.
Happy are those with plenty of money. Their kingdom is come, their will is done upon earth, if not in heaven.
Beckford buys beautiful objects to distance himself from the origin of his wealth, with its unsavoury whiff of commerce and slavery.
Art is something that you have to feel inwardly, you have to feel it inside. It's not something that you can just admire. Admiration will not do. People pretend to be struck by an object of art, but that's only because people around them are being struck by the same thing.
Fonthill's expensive tastes challenge the patience of his lawyer, Thomas Wildman, who sets his monthly allowance according to sugar profits.
He sets too much value on the things that money can buy. The enjoyment of gildery and painting is momentary.
Well, what use is money if you can't spend it? How Wildman could seriously think that I would leave a single farthing of my allowance undrawn, I have no idea.
Wildman's job is to run the Beckford sugar business and fight off ancient claims to his estates. Fonthill also trusts Wildman to protect him from fraudsters.
The whole world believes that Mr. Beckford is groaning under so heavy a burden of riches that anyone who can take part of that weight from his shoulders is doing him an essential service.
While Fonthill glosses over the source of his wealth, Summerlee is at the sharp end of the business, driving the pace of sugar production. Sugarcane is the first agricultural product in the world to go through an industrial process before going to market. The word factory is first used in English to describe the Jamaica boiling houses. During harvesting, slaves work a shift system.
This is the actual factory.
Yeah, so you have come to the end of part 3. Yes, man, we just started. So we just want you to get your mind back in time, to let you hear from the narrators telling you how our ancestors were treated by the people from Britain. Yes, remember, it's white people, they are the ones that enslave our people. British, and Jamaica was the gold mine for them. And our ancestors were to work and make them live like kings and queens. So that's where we're at right now. So coming up, we'll be part 4. And we're just keeping it going. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.